Okay, hi, welcome back to Maths Learning Groups, and today we are going to look at how to avoid careless mistakes and how to apply shortcuts to do better in our math assessments. So we are going to look at the primary 4 question, which is on construction, on how to recognize lines that are parallel and how do we prove it. So let's look at this common question taken out from the P4 exam papers from other schools. So if you look at this question, you can see that in the figure below, one of the lines is parallel to DE. So where exactly is your DE? Now this is your DE. So which line is parallel to DE? So students, they make mistakes when they assume. They assume that this line looks like parallel, right? And then they put the answer as CF. Alright, so if you put the answer as CF, then that's wrong because you cannot assume. You can't use your eyes to see whether they are parallel. You have to prove it. So how exactly do we prove it? Well, if you look at the DE, there is a reason for the square boxes that you see. You have to use a square boxes to actually measure how long is the line. So from this corner here to this corner, which is the start and the end, right? So how long is the line? You have to move right 2 squares and then you move up 2 squares. So this line is actually 2 by 2. Right, 2 squares by 2 squares. So you are going to look at CF and see whether does it follow the same pattern. So from the start point, and you also go right 2 squares and you go up 2 squares as well, and you see that there's a corner here. So did the red line pass through this corner? It didn't. So that's why the CF is not correct. It is not parallel. Then which line is parallel? Then if you look at another line, which is your AB, right, so is AB parallel to DE? So once again, you count. You go out 1 square and go right 1 square. So you have 1 by 1. And then you go to the DE and you see whether does it follow the same pattern. Does the line passes through the corner when you follow the pattern? So for example, you go right 1 square, you go out 1 square, and that is 1 by 1. So you can see the red line passes through the corner, right? The corner that you can see over here. So because the lines passes through the corner and they have the same pattern, so what happened? So these 2 lines are parallel. So your answer will be AB. So this is how you prove whether the lines are parallel. You cannot use your eyes to assume. You have to count the squares to find a pattern, and then use that pattern to test another line to see whether does it follow the same pattern. If it doesn't follow the same pattern, then they are not parallel. Alright, so this is how we recognize lines that are parallel, and how do we measure them as well. So when you do questions like this in the future, so take note of how to count the squares. So we will see you in our next lesson video. Alright, so goodbye, see you next time.